Cheers. So here we are.
Nice.
It's been a long month. 2 months.
It really has, yeah.
All right, so pretty much to start things off, as you guys know, well, as some of you may know, I made a live stream a couple days ago. Some of you have been asking, you know, why haven't we been filming at the Ricer Ranch? I think I titled it like, Kicked Out of the Ricer Ranch.
Yeah, something like that.
So I made this live stream just real quick because I didn't know how to make this video and I just wanted to put a quick answer out there, but long story short, my stepdad just ended up selling the place. You know, after making the live stream, it got like a ton of views in just the 12 minutes that it was up. I think it got like 2,400 views.
24, yeah.
So, you know, after ending the live stream, I'm like, yeah, that wasn't the right way to do it. This is worth making its own video and just getting a little more in depth, coming up with some clearer answers on why we had to move. So yeah, that's what we're here for today. Big question, where are we right now and why? Right now we are at Flex Fuel's house. This is his backyard. This is where I moved to. Why did we move? Well, let's back things up first of all. So I lived up at Butler, I think
It was about
what winter that was. I don't remember the exact move-in date, but I lived in Butler about 2 years. I think maybe half of the first year, or maybe 8 months of the first year was when Caleb and James were with us. We moved up to Butler and I was renting the place for us. You know, James later pointed out that that was my stepdad's house, which it is, that's completely true, but I usually don't tell people that. And the main reason I don't tell people that, it's not because I'm like ashamed of it or anything like that. But the reason I don't tell people it's my stepdad's house is just because when you say that, it gives people the idea that, you know, I'm getting this great deal on it and that he's probably just hooking it up. Meanwhile, in truth, like, I'm really not that close to my stepdad. You know, I mean, we get along, but we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. So it was as if I was renting it from a random landlord anyway.
It wasn't very cheap either.
No, you know, I was paying his mortgage for it. That's how I was renting it. For him, it was only like 800 bucks a month. Later, we're gonna get into me trying to buy the place, and it would have been more than that. But I was paying his mortgage for it. He wasn't living there. He had been gone for years. So it was this vacant house. And then I was also paying the utilities and stuff like that, the internet. Yeah, I don't know what's up with all these bugs, man. Dude, these bugs are like loving these summer shandies or something. And this is a tough video to make because like there's so much that went on in the last 2 months at least. I don't know, it's just been crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so my stepdad never lived there, or I mean, not while we were there. And then I found out, you know, him and my mom were looking at getting a new house, which they did. They wanted to sell the house in Butler. You know, they first told me about it. They were gonna try to sell it to me. I immediately wanted to jump on that. You know, I wanted to make it happen. I wanted to buy it. But, you know, that place is really big. You know, even being out in the country, I was doing the numbers and it was still gonna be really expensive to buy. A couple other things too I had to factor in was like, he took all the tractors and stuff to their new place, so, you know, towards the end, I didn't have any equipment, and if I was buying it, I would have had to go on and buy a ton of equipment right off the bat, and the place needed a lot of work too. So I was doing the math for the place, you know, seeing if I could buy it, and I started working another job at the time, part-time, just to save up for a bigger down payment. And, you know, while I was doing all this, I was talking with a banker, and it kind of came back as, like, technically I could afford it, but it would be very hard. It would be very hard to live that way. It would be pretty much paycheck to paycheck, and it's just not a way you want to live, especially, like, you know, me being pretty young. Like, I just didn't want to start out.
You'd have a very, like, tight budget on food and stuff like that, and like grocery shopping. And
Right. I was paying one mortgage for it. He had a pretty good rate, and then for me to get my own, it would have gone up a lot, and it just, yeah, it did not make sense financially. That was pretty much the main reason why I didn't buy it or couldn't buy it. So then came the question, you know, all right, well, how long do we have here? Because he wants to sell the place. Who's he going to sell it to? How long do we really have to stay here? And, you know, where are we going to go?
Then this takes us to the part where you were trying to talk to him, just like, well, let us know, like, keep us posted on.
It didn't really go as planned. You know, he wanted to sell the place. We didn't know how long we had. We didn't know when he was going to sell it. It was off the market because the neighbors had talked about buying it, and that was something they wanted to do. But anyway, we found out that the neighbors wanted to buy it. They wanted to buy it, but they had another place they wanted to sell so they could buy it. And we didn't know like how long it would be until they could buy it. But pretty much, long story short, we went from not knowing to having to be out ASAP. Without getting into detail, as you guys can see, there was a big lack of communication and it screwed a lot of things up. But you know, we made the best of it. We did move out. So like when we found that out, you had an apartment lined up at the time. And we're like, all right, well, we need this amount of time because that was your move-in date. So, I mean, after finding that out, we probably did get a full month to move out.
Yeah.
In which, you know, that's usually what people get to move out. They get about a month. Now, as you guys know, we have a lot of projects at the Ricer Ranch, which was causing a big problem on my end because where am I going to put all this stuff? A lot of these projects aren't done, like the street bike golf cart, my CRF, you know, I had parts all over the place up there. So I was looking for garages to rent and nothing was really lining up. And then Flex Fuel reached out to me, and him being the great friend that he is, said I could come stay here. They have a good sized house with extra rooms and stuff like that. And, you know, he said I could come here and live here pretty cheap, just pitch a little bit for rent. Yeah, so that's what I ended up doing given the time crunch that we had. And I pretty much just all the month of August was taking trips back and forth to here, moving all the projects. I sold a lot of things. Let me give you guys a quick rundown of kind of what happened to what. The LT80 went in storage. This thing has not ran since Wellsville. James took his Scrambler back home, and he bought a go-kart that we had in the barn. Drifted, bro. This wasn't the rice buggy. It was a different one that was for a future project. Nice. I sold the rice cart, the red, white, and blue golf cart. Some of you might be sad about that, but we really didn't have any plans for it, and the street bike golf cart's gonna be way cooler. We can always paint it like it and stuff like that. Rice buggy and Little Foster, one of the Outsiders quad, I took them to store at Jason's house.
You go sideways with it.
Then I pretty much just went through everything in the garage, organized as much as I could. I bought a bunch of big bins to put like all the parts that we wanted to keep to use for future projects. So, you know, it's not like stuff just got left behind. Like, I brought everything that, you know, we'd ever need. Yeah, you know, we still have all the important stuff.
Yeah.
Then I took Big Foster to Lander's house here, Flex Fuel's house. The golf cart. My CRF 250 parts, which I want to get back to that bike very soon. I'm going to try to tackle that as well, like one of the first projects here. The LTRs here, and pretty much just all the remaining stuff that I didn't sell or take to Jason's. My brother's motorcycle was fixed at Hometown Scooters, and then I took that back to my brother, and Kramer sold his Sportsman 400. So now we're on to, where did you move to?
I moved to...
my full address, everything.
Oh, yeah. I moved to a apartment out in Monroeville. The main reason why I did so was because it's much closer to my work. And going from Butler all the way down to my job was about a solid hour of driving. It's about a 30-minute drive for me now, but it also put me still close to like Adam and stuff. So I can go easily from my apartment down to here. It just kind of puts me closer to everything. And yeah, me and Adam might not be at the same house anymore, but I'll still be close.
So yeah, Ryan got his new apartment. I'm at Flex Fuel's house, but the thing is that's back in Bethel Park, and I'm actually really excited to be back down this way. I'm like right next door to the Hagler, right next door to Kramer, so many other people, all my old friends and stuff like that. So like, I mean, don't get me wrong though, the country's awesome. Like, I definitely want to move back out to the country someday. That's hands down a future goal, just not right now at this time of my life. Current plans right now, just keep making videos. I have garage space here, which is awesome. Lander's dad gave me almost full reign on the garage. I can turn that into our next workshop. I got the golf cart in there right now. You know, there's plenty of room to work on stuff, so that's huge. It's a lot less stuff to worry about too. Now that I'm here, I don't have to worry about taking care of this huge farm. Now that place was like 12 acres. You guys might not realize this, but like I was cutting the grass for that place for a long time, and it's a lot to take care of. To cut the grass at that place, you know, it takes a full day, and I was doing that once a week.
Just to do the field, it's like what, like 5 hours?
I mean, it took, that was a lot of property to take care of. I want that responsibility someday, just not right now. As you guys know, we did a ton of riding and stuff in the field, and that was a blast. I totally love doing that. But I will say, I feel like we did everything we could in that field. I had plans to finish the track and stuff like that, but like, I don't know, there's only so much you can do in a field, and I actually really like the idea of just going to other places more. And as you've seen in the previous 2 videos, that's what we've done. We've gone and hit trails around here. I think there's gonna be a lot more routing now that I'm here, and I think I'm gonna have a lot more time to focus on working on projects and getting stuff done rather than worry about this whole farm and trying to scrape money together for it, and then worry about all the future repairs and just worry about all the land. You know, it's like a big weight off my shoulders. I'm really excited for what the future is going to bring. Yeah. I think that pretty much covers it.
I think it does.
Well, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope none of you got too sad over this. You always got to focus on the now and not worry about what the future is going to bring. Just focus on things one day at a time, and you'll live a lot more stress-free and be a lot happier.
Absolutely.
So, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Stay sketchy.